Coach Garner here from hockeytraining.com, and in today's video I want to do a recap, kind of like a putting it all together sequence for the GameSpeed hockey training system that we've been breaking down over the past several videos. We've talked about the performance activation potentiators, we've talked about the IQ enhancers, we've talked about the movement optimization protocol. You're all caught up to speed on the why behind the programming and not just the how. Look, I can say with a high degree of certainty that this is the best off-season workout structure that you could possibly do in order to improve your all-round hockey performance. Every single thing is being hit here with all your speed, all of your resistance training and skill development and IQ development, your dynamic mobility, your agility. I mean, you've seen the videos. This covers absolutely everything. And this GameSpeed hockey training system is one of the biggest contributions that I've had towards the hockey industry. But I'd be lying to you if it said if it came purely from a place of positivity. You know, like I only made this to improve the lives of hockey players all over the planet. That's mostly true. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I also made this out of frustration of what's currently out there in the industry. There is a complete lack of respect for workout organization and an over-respect for getting clicks and creating clickbait content. That's never been me. When you go online, you'll see constantly somebody post one drill or one fancy trick shot or one something. And that is done purely for the purpose of them building their following and not done at all to make you a better hockey player. Because even a great drill done at the wrong time will yield little to no results. Like that one drill says nothing about the sequence of programming, the long-term periodization, the why behind any of it. Like, I'm very big on the why. You guys, this Hockey Science Unleashed channel, this is born because I wanted you to have the why behind your hockey training. All of my articles, they're extremely long so that you know the why. I'll never be a coach that says just the how. I'll never be a coach that says, okay, now here's your workout, now go do it. That's not the way you make an impact. And one of my real dreams in life is to leave the hockey industry in a better place than when I found it. And I can't think of a better way to do that than to empower you with the knowledge that you need to keep pushing the industry forward. Because these quick clickbait videos, these trick shots, these things that gain lots of traction, it makes my job a lot harder because I constantly have to re-educate people on what real sport-specific training is. I'm constantly teaching people like, okay, drills don't get results, programs do. Workouts don't get results, programs do. What's the why behind this drill? Is it for the muscular system? Is it the nervous system? Why does it fit your current context? Like how are you going to progressively overload it over the course of time? What principles of training is it utilizing and why is that beneficial? Not just to get you fit, but to get you fit for hockey. Like, these are all things that have to be answered, and I constantly run myself through an analysis on when new workouts or new drills or something comes out. That's just the way my brain works. I look at new hockey training content like I do a study. Like, I want to look at the introduction, I want to look at the methodology, I want to see what equipment was used, I want to see what the outcomes were, what the demographic that they use it on, to see what degree of extractability that I have from that research, what the actual results were, because if it's going to be statistically significant for my athletes, then I want a piece of it. Like, that's how I view all new content that's being released, not just scientific studies. I'm viewing content that way. And when I look at other workouts and drills and things like that, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't frustrated, because I look at these things and then I identify, okay, like, with decades of sports science literature available to us at this point in time, you'd think new workouts would be better than they currently are. But they just simply aren't, because I'll look at things and I'm like, okay, so there's fundamental things that should begin every workout, that should be in every workout, and that should end every workout. Like, there are very fundamental principles, right? The principles remain. The methods at which you accomplish the principles can change, but the principles remain. They should always be there. Things like specificity, variability, individualization, progressive overload, fatigue management, the stuff's got to be there. And if it's not, then you are exercising, you're not hockey training. So I created the GameSpeed system to provide hockey players of all ages, no matter what access to equipment they have, a sequence that they can create workouts in that are going to check all of the boxes in a sound way that you can back up with the sports science literature and that I can back up with experience, having been in this industry over 10 years, working with thousands of hockey players, youth hockey players, teen hockey players, adults, college, men's league, NHL, KHL, AHL, USHL, OHL. You have any HLs? And I've had an athlete in it or currently have an athlete in it. So this is something that you can rest on, and I want you to always know the why so that you know exactly what's going on, even in my absence. If you only know the how, then when the only tool you have is a hammer, then everything looks like a nail, and you're just going to do this thing for everything. It doesn't work like that. But the GameSpeed system, it's beautiful in its application because its focus is on improving hockey performance. So some workouts you'll come across, and it's like the focus is you'll get big arms with this workout. The focus of this, as you can see, is to improve all hockey performance metrics. If it's going to be first step quickness, acceleration, and starting speed, and overall explosive speed, as well as ankle mechanics, the performance activation potentiator. The hockey IQ enhancer is done in concurrency with the functional resistance training. So you are getting functional strength, you are building functional muscle mass, but at the same time you're learning how to be patient with the puck. You are learning how to keep your head up when you're fatigued. You're learning how to be technically efficient while you're fatigued. You're learning to enhance your hockey IQ because the body will only follow where the mind takes it. This has to be trained so that you could turn your workout into a hockey workout. And lastly, the movement optimization protocol. We're using this thing to enhance mobility, agility, top speed, fast twitch capacity, fast twitch activation, injury resiliency, you name it. The movement optimization protocol, as well as the whole workout. There isn't like a single focus here. The focus is on improving all hockey performance metrics. So this is exactly what I want you to do, okay? And I'll just tell you what I do. All off season long, I have my athletes do total body A, total body B, and total body C. Okay, my off season 6 phases long, and they resistance train 3 times per week, every single phase. 3 total body sessions. This is exactly how it's broken down. They do first their dynamic warm-up, and then they move into their performance activation potentiator routine. The dynamic warm-up you can kind of see as, and I didn't include it here because I figured that that's obvious. The dynamic warm-up, that's to elevate core temperature and warm up the muscular system, whereas the performance activation potentiator routine, as we've already discussed, is a warm-up, you can say, for the nervous system. So we are getting our core temperature elevated as well as our muscle system prepared, but now we are gaining speed benefits while getting our nervous system prepared to better optimize for our functional resistance training workout while we do hockey IQ enhancer work, and then we finish each and every single resistance training session, remember 3 per week, with the movement optimization protocol. But the way that this is designed allows us to check so many boxes, every box, for hockey performance 3 days per week. And then on top of that, my athletes still have their aerobic capacity days, their aerobic interval days, their aerobic circuit days earlier in the off-season during GPP work. And then as the off-season progresses, they move into anaerobic power days, anaerobic capacity days, and even game simulations that'll have the athletes run through, which is the absolute peak of hockey-specific training as the off-season goes on. That is the long-term periodization. So you can see that 3 days per week, you're checking every single box for hockey performance, which leaves you 4 more days to maximize conditioning, agility, speed, and even active recovery, mobility tactics, and skills training. You have so much time to accomplish so much that it's going to be a surprise to nobody when the next in-season rolls around or the next tryouts roll around, however your league is set up, that you are going to be a completely different player because the time that you're spending in the gym is not being spent. It's being invested. Everything you're doing is working towards creating a workout that makes you a better hockey player and not just makes you a more fit person. So this is exactly how it breaks down, you guys. Performance activation potentiator, done after the warm-up. A great way to split it up, I'll have athletes rotate 2 different activation potentiator routines all off-season long. So they'll do vertical, lateral, ankle, and then horizontal, deceleration, depth. So vertical, first step quickness, acceleration. Lateral, stride length and stride frequency. ankle, edge work. Horizontal, top speed and deceleration. Deceleration, focus to enhance resilience and stop-start speed, as well as depth, because that is the maximal way to drive plyometric gain. That are your 2 performance activation potentiator breakdowns, and they will be performed 3 sets of 3 to 5 reps each with 30 seconds rest in between. Boom, done, ready to rock for our full workout. Full workout, not included the resistance training because it changes every single phase. You're going to move towards more preparatory work and then ultimately to hyper-specific hockey functional resistance training work as the off-season goes on. But the Hockey IQ Enhancer is done in alignment with your resistance training. What it basically is pre-fatigued motor control, and I've got a full video of that on this channel because what you're doing is training the nervous system to be technically efficient in a state of fatigue so that while everyone else is dropping off in the second and third period or dropping off in a long and extended shift, maybe you're on a penalty kill and your expenditure is way higher, you're still going to be technically efficient, you're going to have great posture, you're going to have head up, you're going to be able to, your nervous system creates automatic movement patterns when you've already trained pre-fatigue motor control. Like there's a quote out there that goes along the lines of something like, if you bleed in training, you'll never bleed in battle, right? That's a very extreme quote, but the idea behind it is that if you work harder in training, then your competition will seem easy. Well, when you do hockey-specific drills, right, I have them do edge work or puck handling drills during rest periods that are between 60 and 120 seconds at the end of the workout, well, you're never going to be, like, you are simulating extreme exhaustion out in the ice, but you are doing it all off season long. So then that never happens to you when you get back on the ice. It's a beautiful way to maximize hockey IQ because you'll be amazed at how easy you can read the ice, be a playmaker, predict what everybody else is going to do, and stay patient with the puck when you're calm because you've been here before. You've been executing this stuff all off season long in an exhausted state. And now you're just doing it out in competition. You bleed in training, you'll never bleed in battle, okay? Hockey IQ Enhancer is done for rest periods that are 60 to 120 seconds in length for the last exercise of the workout because I want you maximally fatigued to force you to be technically efficient in that fatigue. And then you're going to finish each workout with the movement optimization protocol. You guys know what it's all about. The way I set it up is I like to attack the entire body, 5 exercise total body circuit with loaded stretching, hip flexor dominant stretch, hip rotation dominant stretch, hamstring stretch, chest stretch, lat stretch. We hit all those. We've not only unlocked the entire body, but we've strengthened and stabilized the entire body as well, in addition to all of the fast twitch muscle fiber capacity and activation benefits that we talked about in the movement optimization protocol. This can be done body weight or gym loaded. So this is something that, by the way, everything here is applicable for youth athletes all the way up to NHL athletes. It's not the methods and principles are applicable. How you apply them can vary slightly. Like, for example, for a 10-year-old kid, I would use body weight loaded stretching, but then for a 15-year-old kid, I would have him do gym loaded stretching, right? How you apply it can vary slightly, but all of this is applicable for all ages. So this is stuff I want you to really get that. And you would hold each stretch for 60 to 90 seconds, each stretch for 60 to 90 seconds, and then progress that as the off season goes on. For more information on any of these concepts, review the previous videos. Guys, this is called the GameSpeed hockey training formula for a reason. This is the way in which you can create off-season domination, and that's why we call the program off-season domination. You execute this, I promise you're going to dominate on the ice next year. Thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe, let me know if you got questions in the comment section, and go to hockeytraining.com/offseason if you want the real deal.